My dear students, today's teaching chapter 6, the Gupta's period points to be taught, Gupta administration, cultural achievements, literary achievements, scientific achievements. Now, the Gupta administration. Thank you very much for joining my class history, my dear students. And today there was a holiday. That's why I thought whether I should teach for you. But later on I realized that it was the right time to study your books. So I decided to send video of my lesson. So that's why my request to you, it is my request to you to be attentive to my teaching. The village administration of the Guptas. You know, the Guptas established an efficient administrative system throughout the country. The Gupta rulers realized that administration was the root cause of all kinds of upliftment and improvement. Administration should be perfect. Administration should be well disciplined in respect of the improvement and development and growth throughout the country. That's why the Gupta rulers introduced a good system of administration throughout the country. Village was the basic unit of the administration. The king himself was all in all in the administration. The king assumed the title Maharaja Dhiraja. He was assisted by, princes, advisors, ministers and other officials. And the princes were appointed as viceroys of provinces called Bhuktis. They also took the title of Kumara Amartya. And land revenue was the chief source of income of the state, land revenue. The peasants and farmers paid high amount of taxes since agricultural lands from where they cultivated different types of crops. These all lands were fertile, so they produce huge quantities of crops from their lands and paid high amount of land revenues to the state. And hence, the state also spent a lot of money for the all-round development of the country. It was due to the efforts of the Gupta ruler. The age under Chandragupta too had become very much famous in all fields, and people became rich and prosperous, although the pathway shown by whom? By Samudragupta. And hence, Samudragupta, like son, like father, Samudragupta's son Chandragupta too also followed the system of his father, and he also became more and more effective in all respect and became a total king throughout the country, and his image also reached in various parts of the world. People of different parts of the world came to know about his contribution. And second point, another one that is very important, my dear students, that is very important. What is it? Another part of administration I would like to add few more points of the Gupta administration. And who was the head of the district? You know, the officer in charge in a district was Vaishya, and another provincial also was a link between the local administration and the center. And each district, each village had one village head and called Gramini, and it also had one council comprising village or village elders. Village elders means the elder villagers of the villages. They took part in the assembly and they took part in the council. And that they would become the member of council and took part in every meeting. They attended in every meeting and they gave necessary advices and suggestions for the growth and development of the villages. So this is the system of village administration during the age of the Gupta period. And apart from this, the Gupta realized that the administration in administration, the people were the main source of power. So they gave importance to the growth and development of the people. That's why they constructed many roads, bridges. They sanctioned huge amount of money for the growth and development of agriculture. They paid attention to by appointing a number of number of spies to learn about the condition of the peasants and farmers, whether they are happy, whether they had any dissatisfaction, whether they had any say. That's why the Gupta rulers also used to collect necessary informations about the people during their period. And apart from this, another point is that is very important, that is in the administration of the Guptas, that is the officer in charge means empire was divided into provinces, and each province was divided into a number of pradeshika or vaishya. Each district had its own administrative officer, and Nagarapati was the head of town administration. And another thing is that is very important, that is some important administrative posts were hereditary, like Harishana. Harishana hold many offices, and the post of Harishana was hereditarical because of Samudragupta. Because during the age of Samudragupta, Harishana became the court poet, and this arrangement was done by Samudragupta, and he created the post hereditary post for Harishana because of his wonderful contribution of Allahabad pillar inscription, which narrated for the praise of Samudragupta. And Harishana was not only Mahamandanika but also Kumara Amatta and Sandhikahika. So Harishana hold many offices during his age. And now, second one, cultural achievements. Cultural achievements, my dear students. Cultural achievements. It was due to the effort of the Gupta rulers in the field of culture. The people, they all gave their best efforts for the growth and development of the country. A number of distinguished people were born during the age of the Gupta period. They all were patronized by the Gupta rulers. During the age of Chandragupta too, there were 9 gems who embraced the court of Chandragupta too. Out of 9 gems, there were 2 gems. Number 1, Kalidasa, and number 2, Baraham Mihra, contributed a lot. Kalidasa as a great poet, as a great dramatist, as a great writer, he also established his proficiency. He established his skills, talents, abilities, and originalities by means of his writings, by means of his creatures, whatever he had done. A number of dramas he wrote. Avigana Sakuntalam became famous. The people during the age of that drama also had become still relevant to the modern society. Its romantic appeal still make us nostalgic because of its wonderful theme he found out. and narrated it in a very easiest form in Sanskrit. And apart from this, a number of poems also he wrote, Ritu Samhara, Mahamalampika Nimittam, and other creative works of Kalidasa made him famous, and hence he is compared to William Shakespeare of England. And another one, Barham Mihra. Barham Mihra's wonderful effort was actually basically an astronomer, and the experimentation, whatever he had done throughout the system of the universe, made him a great and famous astronomer. Barham Mihra. In the field of literacy, there came a remarkable development. In the field of culture, the number of cultural achievements also were done by the Gupta rulers. The Gupta rulers felt that the country should have cultural programs. That's why they always encouraged to organize a number of cultural programs, and encourage dance, encourage paintings, encourage creative works, encourage writings of different writers. So they all were patronized by the Gupta rulers. So in the field of culture, Gupta age has become a great center of culture, a great center of learning, a great center of scientific development. And besides, the Gupta rulers also realized that the literary achievements under Kalidasa and other distinguished, writers like, Vishakadatta, he wrote the play Mudra Rakshasa. He described how Chandragupta Maurya came to the throne. Apart from this, Patanjali is, Mahashava, Amar Singhas, Amar Khosha, and Dandin, Bhatti, and Vishnu Sharma's, other important book, that was, Panchatantra, also had become a book of moral upliftment by means of the explanation with the animals, and so it had become famous and attractive during the age of the Guptas, and till today it is relevant to the modern society. And at the time of the Gupta period, Bhagavad Gita also was explained, also was written in Sanskrit form, in Sanskrit language. Also Mahabharata, the great epic, also was published in Sanskrit language during Gupta period. And it is said that during the Gupta period, a number of Puranas also were written by the ancient writers, and it also encouraged the people during that period, and till today it is acceptable to the readers as the contributions of the ancient ages writers and poets and famous dramatists who contributed in their respective field, in order to grace the image of the Gupta rulers. And apart from this, the age of the Gupta, there came development in the field of, scientific achievements. In the field of scientific achievements, the Gupta rulers' contributions also is famous. How? The great advancements were made in the field of science during the age of the Guptas. Technology, distinguished works of medicine such as Charaka Samhita, and Susrata Samhita compiled in this period. These all were compiled in this period. Bhagavatta was renowned physicians of this period who wrote the treatise Astanga Hridaya, and Dhanvantari was another famous physician. He was born during the Gupta period, and he also developed the concept of human's body and anatomy and encouraged the people from not from different for protecting them from being affected of different diseases. And Aryabhatta, the great mathematician, also was born during their age. He also wrote the famous work, made famous work Aryabhattam, that deals with algebra, geometry, and trigonometry. He also propounded the concept of rotation and revolution of Earth and the cause of lunar eclipse, the reason of lunar eclipses. It is believed that Aryabhatta found the exact value of two, and Brahmagupta is said to have described the force of gravity many centuries. Means force of gravity. The force of gravity was done by whom? During the modern age, it was done by Sir Isaac Newton, the scientist of England, who founded the gravity of attraction. But before that, another one who also found out the theory of gravity, the theory of described the exact system of rotation of revolution of Earth and the lunar eclipse. The Aryabhatta found exact value. Brahmagupta said to describe the force of gravity. So it is said that Brahmagupta found out the force of gravity, and many centuries before Newton discovered it. So the number of numerals also encouraged the people and also attracted the Sanskrit numbers that was also borrowed and modified and by Arab traders, finally adopted by the West. And besides, Barahmihira's works, Brihat Samhita, deals with mathematics, astronomy, and botany and physical geography. Barahmihira's. He explained the movement of the planets and also talked about the revolution of the earth around the sun. The revolution of the earth around the sun. Before that, there was a wrong notion of the people that the sun was moving around the earth. The earth was in a fixed position, but the sun was moving around the earth. But it was due to the effort of Barahmihira. He proved for the first time that sun was not revolving around the earth, but the earth is revolving around the sun. The sun is fixed in its way, but the earth is revolving around the sun. It was proved by whom? By Barahmihira for the first time, my dear students. And by this way, there came a remarkable development in the field of science and scientific experimentation under the guidance, under the special care of the Gupta rulers. The Gupta rulers, for that reason, spent a lot of money for the upliftment and for the growth of scientific development, not only, but also for the growth of educational development. A number of, books also were written by different writers, different dramatists, different poets, encourage the people to learn the knowledge which was unknown to them. So they started reading books, they came to know about different concepts. The Gupta rulers themselves were educationists. They had education. That's why they were very much fond of patronizing the distinguished people, the educated people, to provide their best efforts, to give their best efforts for the growth and development of the country, for the growth and development of the Gupta age, so that the image of the Gupta rulers reached far and wide throughout not only the country but throughout the world. And it is due to the reason, my dear students, the Gupta period had become famous, and Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata also became these two important books of the Hindus, also were published in Sanskrit language, and it was written by the writers of the contemporary age. They encouraged the readers to read out books, to learn the unknown things of Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge, the concept of Mahabharata, the great epic of the Hindus, encouraged the great advancement in the field of literacy, literary development, and in the field of artistic style of the writers that narrated from different angles and encouraged the people of during that age to be a uh, part of their writings of their creatures, and so a number of writers created, a number of readers who were attracted by their writings and started reading and started gaining knowledge, and the number of Gupta rulers, they encouraged them. They started encourage them. They encouraged them to keep on writing by means of their enthusiastic skill, knowledge, whatever they had gained. They also asked them to express it in very easiest form for the people, so that they must gain knowledge by reading their books, and by this way the age of the Gupta rulers had become an age of the great kings of India, and hence it is said that the age of the Gupta period is known as the Golden Age. The Golden Age, which is because due to the efforts and contributions of a number of distinguished people who also highlighted the image of not only the Gupta age but also elaborated the unknown things by means of their experimentation, by means of their literary achievements, by means of their artistic skill, by means of their cultural knowledge and concept, and hence the Gupta period had become really a golden age in the history of not only India but in the history of the world. Up to this, my dear students. Thank you.